All right, so how much do Facebook ads cost? It's a question that we get every single day as a Facebook ad agency. And I'll be honest, it's a little tricky and different for everyone. Primarily because Facebook lets its advertisers choose their own budget. You can run ads for as much money as you want and for as long as you want. But still, how much money should you really be spending on Facebook ads? Today you're gonna find this out and so much more. Hey everybody, my name is Sherman with LYFE Marketing, a digital marketing agency that helps small businesses grow. Today I'm going to fully explain Facebook advertising costs to you and help you determine what's the best amount to invest into your Facebook advertising campaign. I mean, there's campaigns that we've ran where we've just spent $4,000 and generated over $130,000 in revenue for our clients. But does that mean that you need to spend $4,000 in Facebook ads? Not exactly. So let's go ahead and break Facebook ad costs all the way down and then determine what works best for your business. Okay, first and foremost, how does Facebook ad costs work? Like, how much do Facebook ads actually cost? Well, according to Facebook, you can buy Facebook ads on any budget. Well, that was very helpful, wasn't it? When I tell my clients this, they're kind of like, no, but seriously, Sherman, how much do I need to spend in order to really make this work? And if that's you, don't worry, I got you covered here. The first thing you need to understand is how Facebook advertising costs really work. Technically, Facebook charges you to reach people on Facebook. So for example, if you spent $5, you might reach 500 people. And if you spent $10, you might reach 1,000 people, and so on. This costing format is referred to as cost per thousand impressions, or CPM. Every time you run an ad on Facebook, there will be an associated CPM related to it. And as you can see, these CPMs vary based on the advertisement that's running. Which actually brings me to my next point, which is, why do Facebook CPM costs vary? There are a few things that influence your Facebook ad costs. So let's go ahead and discuss this, and then we'll talk about how to set your monthly budget for Facebook ads. All right, the first thing that influences your costs, number one, is ad relevance. The most significant factor is this little thing called relevance inside of Facebook. Businesses that have the most relevant advertisements are rewarded with lower CPM costs, and businesses that have crappy ads will have higher CPM costs. You see, Facebook measures every ad shown for quality, engagement, and conversions. Ultimately, they do this to help show their users the best advertisements. This way, they can keep people on Facebook longer and continue to serve more advertisements to them, which makes Facebook so profitable. For example, let's say that business A spends $1,000 in Facebook ads and earns a $20 CPM. Hypothetically, this would mean they would earn 50,000 impressions for just $1,000. On the other hand, let's say business B spends about $1,000 in Facebook ads as well and earns a $10 CPM. This would mean that they would earn 100,000 impressions for just $1,000. That's double the amount of impressions for the exact same ad spend. You'll increase your chances of getting lower cost clicks to your website and, most importantly, lower cost conversions by having relevant ads. Okay, let's move on to point number two. Audience size. Your audience size will also influence your Facebook ad cost. In general, the broader the audience, the lower the cost. And the more narrow the audience, the higher the cost. Here's a very simple example to illustrate this. Let's say you have a niche business and you only want to target about 1,000 people. Because the audience is so small, you'll probably be very limited in reaching them on a daily basis, and that's if they even use Facebook on a daily basis. And even if they do, it might just be for a small period of time. But there's likely hundreds, if not thousands, of advertisers on Facebook who want to reach that same exact person for that period of time. So why would they reward your business in reaching them? Well, it's probably because you're going to reward Facebook by paying higher CPM costs. On the other hand, an advertiser only targeting 1 million people will have no problem taking whoever becomes available within their very broad audience that they've selected. Because of this, they will likely see lower CPM cost overall. This is true across our agency, to be honest with you. We've noticed that larger audience sizes tend to have lower cost across the board. And more narrow audiences like small towns or very niche markets have higher costs on Facebook. All right, point number 3, ad competition. Your Facebook advertising costs might also vary based on competition. There are some audiences that are more competitive than others. For example, it may cost you way more to reach an audience of C-suite executives than it would to reach the average person. Different audiences have different levels of competition amongst advertisers, which may require some level of creativity on your part to determine the best way to reach your desired audience. All right, now let's answer the magic question. How much should you really spend on Facebook advertising? Like right now. Before I say anything, let me give you a general rule. In general, the more you spend in Facebook advertising, the more people you will reach, and ultimately, the better your chances are of increasing your business leads or revenue. So if you're stuck in between spending just a little bit and a little bit more, then I'd choose a little bit more every time if it fits within your budget. With that said, let's try to nail down exactly how much you should expect to spend in Facebook advertising costs. Here are the big things you need to consider. Number 1, do people know your business exists? If no one knows your business exists, you're likely going to have to spend more money to see sales from Facebook advertising. The reason why is because people buy from businesses they know and trust. And if they don't already know you and trust you, you're likely going to have to make some deposits into them first before you can expect a deposit back from them. One of the most effective ways to generate sales from Facebook ads is through retargeting, which is advertising to people who recently visited your website or engaged with your business on social media. Now, if you're like many businesses and you don't already have an audience to retarget for your Facebook ads, then you're going to need to build that audience up first. You should aim for a retargeting audience of at least 10,000 people for optimal results. If you don't have this, then you need to spend whatever it takes to build a retargeting audience up. That is how most people are winning through Facebook ads. If you're starting from scratch, then you should expect to spend at least $2,000 to $3,000 to build awareness for your business. This amount, of course, can be split up over a period of weeks or months. Okay, number 2, what kind of media are you using in your Facebook ads? It's no secret that Facebook favors video content in their newsfeed over other types of content. And in general, video content has lower CPM and conversion costs than other alternatives. With that said, a Facebook ad with video is more likely to reach more people at lower cost, allowing you to spend less overall or just get more bang for your money. And if you don't have video, don't worry. You can still develop effective ads with high quality images or graphics that get your point across. We run several campaigns that perform very well without video, but I'd be lying if I said video doesn't help. So aim to add video whenever possible to minimize your overall Facebook advertising costs. Number 3, how much does your products or service cost? The more expensive a product is, the more resistance people will have to buying it. So if you're selling a product that costs $1,000, don't expect to spend $500 and generate 25 sales. That's like a 12 times return on ad spend, which we've seen before, but it's very rare and I wouldn't count on it from the beginning. I'd rather set your goal to breaking even initially and then working yourself up to the 2 to 3 times return on ad spend range. And as time goes on, you continue to optimize your campaigns to see more results and higher returns. So in short, your ad spend should be correlated to the price of your solutions. You can simply take your average sales price times the amount of sales you desire as a minimum ad budget. Okay, number 4, how much cash do you have available to invest? The amount of cash you have available to invest into Facebook ads is very important. As much as I'd like to sugarcoat this and give you a fairy tale ending, I can't. It's very possible that your campaign does not perform the way that you wished it would. So you need to be prepared to lose the money you invest into a Facebook advertising campaign. I would not put my last dollar into a Facebook advertising campaign to determine if my business will survive or not. So make sure that you can comfortably step your foot into Facebook advertising to determine if it will work for your business and be prepared to pivot if it doesn't. All right, let's go ahead and get to the bottom line here. How much do Facebook ads really cost? Or in other words, how much should you really invest to see if this will work for your business or not? As stated, according to Facebook, you can use any budget, but setting any budget won't change your business. You need volume in order to win at Facebook ads. You need to reach a mass amount of people, make them aware of your business, and convince them to purchase from you. To do this, I recommend that you budget at least $5,000 to determine if Facebook ads will work for your business or not. And if you can get that amount up to $7,000 or more, that'll be even better. This should give you enough fuel in the tank to build necessary awareness for your business and begin using more advanced features like retargeting and lookalike audiences. And by the way, I don't recommend spending this amount of money in 1 week or 1 month. Whatever your total budget is, divide it by 6. It takes at least 6 months to build an effective Facebook advertising campaign. This is because you will rarely build a profitable campaign on day 1. The truth is, it takes weeks and months of reviewing performance data and making proper changes to your campaign to increase performance. So if you have a set budget of $5,000, that equates to a monthly budget of around $850. Or if you set a $7,000 total budget, that equates to close to $1,200 a month in Facebook ad spend. So a question I get all the time is, are there any extra costs associated with Facebook advertising? Not necessarily, but there are some things that you may decide to buy to improve your overall results. Like, for example, investing into a quality website or video to help you convert people into buying customers. Or you may decide that you want the best hands to take care of you, so you might decide to hire a Facebook ad agency like LYFE Marketing. It all depends on where you are in your business. If you don't have a lot of money in the tank, your only option might be to take a stab at this yourself. But if you're juggling managing your business and customers, it might be best to hire a partner to devote the necessary time to do this correctly. If that's you, we'll be happy to help. If not, we hope this episode helps you create a booming Facebook advertising campaign to grow your business. With that said, let's go ahead and recap today's episode. All right, so today we talked about Facebook advertising costs. Remember, at the end of the day, Facebook charges you to reach people. The more people you want to reach, the more money you will need to spend. Now, with that spend, your Facebook advertising costs will vary based on a number of factors, like your ad relevance, audience size, and overall competition. Now, while understanding Facebook costs are really cool and everything, you ultimately need to determine how much money you are going to spend on it. When setting a budget, you need to think about your overall awareness in the market, media you will use in your campaign, your pricing, and cash reserves available to invest into a Facebook advertising campaign. And as a very general recommendation, we suggest that you spend at least $5,000 over a period of time to determine if Facebook ads is a good avenue for your business. But at the same time, if you have very ambitious goals, like some of the people I talked to, the budget needs to match it. The more, the merrier. All right, I hope this helped, guys. If it does, be sure to subscribe to our channel because there's much more content like this on the way to help you grow your business. And if I helped you at all today, help me out by hitting that like button below. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.